Now that we have the graph and the equations, which the equations are very important, we are going to take a look at how we can use that with the graphing calculator and also with just plugging it in to find some different answers to our question. So the first question says find the depth at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Now we have to be careful. The way we made the scale, 9 a.m. is good. We can just plug in the t-value of 9. 3 p.m., not so much. So at 12 noon, it was 12. So kind of like Army time, it's going up by 1. We're getting more like a 24-hour clock. So 12 p.m. is 12, 1 p.m. is 13, 2 is 14, and 3 is 15. So we would want to plug in 15 to our equation for that 3 p.m. We do have it in radian mode, so we want to make sure when we go to plug it in the calculator, we're also in radian mode. All right, so I'm going to take my positive equation. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to plug in 9, and then I'm going to plug in 15, and we'll get our answers for both. So I just kind of wrote everything out so I can go right to the calculator and do both, and then I'll record the answers after. Just double check first that you are in radian mode, and I am, so I'm going to go back and do my calculation. One thing to notice with typing it in, I have a second set of parentheses. So you have to have another parentheses after the pi over 6 for the 9 minus 4 and the 15 minus 4. Make sure you close both of those so that it calculates the 5.7 with it correctly. All right, I'm going to round to 2 decimal places for my answers. When you're answering an application question, make sure you answer it in context. So maybe restate the question and put in your answers with the correct units. The last part asks us, it says a boat needs at least 10 feet of water to moor at the dock. During what times in the morning can it safely dock? So in the morning, that's helpful because it's going to be between 0 and noon. And you can use your graph to kind of figure it out, but we're going to use the calculator. So we're going to put in the graph, and we're going to put in a horizontal line at 10 feet and see where it intersects. So this is an option you can use for other questions, or maybe you just have the equation and are trying to find those intersection points. Notice again, I'm putting in the positive equation. I could put either one in and it's still going to give me the same graph. And I'm going to go to my window and I'm just going to graph it over a certain window. 。
window. 。
. 。  . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Since I just want the morning, I'm going to go 0 to 12. I'll go by ones, and I really only want the positive, so I'm actually going to go a little beyond 10. I'm going to go y min 0, y max 15. That's just to help us see the situation. It does go past 10, so we'll be able to see the graph nicely. And then I want to know at 10 feet when that's going to happen, so I'm going to put my y2 as 10 before I hit graph. I probably should have done that first, but I forgot to put it in. Now I just realized I think I have my calculator graphing on simultaneous mode, so yours might graph a little bit differently. It might graph one and then the other, but at some point both graphs will be on there. And to get our intersection, if you remember from doing this from last year, we're going to do second trace intersect. Right now I'm just hitting the left arrow so that I can get close to my first intersection point. Once I'm there, I just have to hit enter 3 times. And that's my first intersection, 2.67. And we'll kind of figure out about where that's going to be time-wise. You should record that on your paper. I'm going to record them after. And then I would do the same thing again for the second one. And that comes out to 5.33 about. So I'm going to record those 2 intersection points with a little sketch. And to figure out an actual time, I just need to take that decimal and multiply it by 60 to kind of figure out how many minutes. So I know it's going to be at 2 a.m. plus a little bit. So I'm going to say that it's going to be between 2:40 a.m. about maybe a little after 2:40 because it's 40.2. And about 5:19 a.m. Because right after that, it's going down. After at like 5:20, it's probably going to be a little bit below. And again, these are your morning times between those 2 times. All right. So that is it for the applications. You will then be working on some of these in class and possibly also for homework.